last night. I'm listening to his book, the autobiography, the book on Bonhoeffer by, I forget the fellow's name who wrote it, but definitely phenomenal. Like, phenomenal book.
I think
Highly
it's
recommend
interesting. This conversation about money reminds me of John Piper had a sermon, I think 30 years ago, that like the last 300 years of Christianity have been the anomaly when it comes to Christianity, in terms of that it's like the common accepted religion in North America, and where there's prosperity around it. But in the history of Christianity, the last 2,000 years, usually the Christians are maligned and, persecuted, and like in most of the world, that is the case nowadays as well. And so where they don't have money, and we're likely just going back to normal, it seems like in our countries, where Christians are again put on the side, and where, I mean, most Christians aren't having the question at the end of their life, what am I going to do with the money I have, and where is it going to go, and stuff like that. Like, they never had it in the first place, because it was still taken from them and stuff like that, and they were persecuted and everything else like that.
Yeah, or if you read in, I think maybe it's 2 Corinthians or maybe it's Acts, I forget, I'm butchering it now, but where it says they sold what they had to help a fellow Christian out. And like, very few people in our churches are selling anything to help out their less fortunate Christian, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you look at just the churches we go to, they're affluent, right? And you just look in the parking lot and kind of see how people are obviously really well off. But I think our posture should be, hey, if somebody's doing without, how can we help them? If we have that as a general rule in our life, we can help in obviously all different kinds of ways, right? But
Hebrews 10:34, which is amazing. They joyfully accepted the plundering of their property, is a phrase from that passage, describing believers who, out of compassion for others in prison, willfully suffered the loss of their possessions with a joyful attitude. The joy stemmed from the knowledge that they possessed a superior, enduring treasure in heaven and not on earth. And so they joyfully accepted the plundering as their property as they looked back and see their houses being burned to go help their fellow believers in prison. Well, like what do we do, or most Christians do, when like the government starts encroaching on our rights and stuff like that? We don't joyfully accept that. We start bickering and saying, my stuff. Like, it's just backwards in so many ways to what
now, to be fair, North American Christianity is very different than probably Christianity around a lot of the globe, I would assume. Right?
That's right. Yeah. So, like I said, the last 300 years have been an anomaly. Like, it's usually not been that case at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we're I think a little soft. So, okay, I got one more here. What age should kids get a phone? Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.